Okay, so job interviews.
Yeah.
Specifically, like, totally crushing that intro and, like, making a killer first impression, And we're kind of diving into this YouTube video today, super popular, by Richard from Past My Interview. He's helped, like, a ton of people, so let's see what he's got.
I think what's interesting here is Richard really zeroes in on like that fear we all have of like flooding the intro, you
Yeah.
know? Those first few seconds can really make or break it.
For sure, for sure. He's basically saying, like, the hiring manager is thinking, like, can this person do the job and like, sound good doing it? There's this line I love. He's all, you must give a good return on my salary. Whoa, sell yourself as the investment, not just the applicant.
Yeah. It's not just like, here are my skills. It's like, these skills are going to benefit you. And that's where the seat method comes in, which I got to admit, pretty clever. Tying it to like literally sitting down at the interview.
Skills, education, achievement, type of person, seat. So simple, but it makes you think about structuring that intro.
It makes you targeted, right? Instead of just like your whole life story, it's like, boom, boom, boom. Here's why I'm the perfect fit for this job.
And speaking of boom, 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 his example intros are really detailed, like mini speeches almost. I don't know about you, but I'd be struggling to remember all that on the spot.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, they're a bit much to like memorize word for word. I think the takeaway is more that seat framework itself, not reciting these long examples. You don't want to sound like a robot.
Totally. You got to make it your own. But nailing the intro, that's just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
This video goes into other common questions too, which I thought was super helpful, like that, how did you hear about this position? Question. Everyone stumbles on that.
Right. Seems so simple, but it's like you'd be surprised how many people just fumble it. Richard really emphasizes like genuine interest, not just in the job, but in the company. Did something specific grab you? Their work culture or a project they did, maybe even their social media. Mentioning something specific shows you did your research.
Yeah. It's like prove you didn't just mass apply to 100 places.
Right.
You actually want to be there. I loved how he talked about the STAR method for those tricky behavioral questions, the tell me about a time you failed kind of things.
Yeah, those. So easy to get flustered and just ramble. But the STAR method gives you that structure, keeps it concise and like impactful.
Instead of panicking, it's like, okay, situation, task, action, result. Like a mini story with a purpose.
Exactly. And a story is way more memorable than just like listing your skills. Richard gives a great example about a website crashing Friday afternoon, worst timing.
The worst.
No.
Did they just leave it till Monday?
Nope. The example is all about someone staying late to fix it, showing initiative, problem-solving skills. Little detail, but it paints a picture of how they handle pressure.
Okay, I see that. Way more compelling than just saying, I'm a hard worker, good under pressure. So it's all about stories with Richard, huh? Really showcasing your skills in action.
He is. And speaking of action, the video tackles another big one, the why should we hire you question.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Feels so direct, like convince me. What's his take?
He says instead of giving like one reason, hit him with or are.
4 reasons. Okay, now that's like strategic.
Right. 4-pronged attack on any doubts they got. He says, emphasize your readiness for the role, like right away, your passion for the industry, being cost conscious, and that results-driven mindset.
Like you're not just filling a seat, you're bringing all this value from day one. Ties back to that return on investment thing.
Exactly. You get their needs, you fit into the bigger picture.
Now it's all clicking. Okay, so we talked content, but what about delivery? Richard's got that like super enthusiastic, almost motivational speaker vibe. Kind of love it. What do you think?
It's high energy, that's for sure. And I think it works, interview prep, it's nerve-wracking. A little pep talk goes a long way, like having your own cheerleader.
Totally.
Yeah.
But is it risky? Like, could someone come across as inauthentic, trying to copy that too much?
Yeah.
If I walk in like Richard 2.0.
That's a good point. Got to strike a balance. It's more about like getting the principles he's teaching and then making them your own, Advice is solid, but your delivery, that's got to be you.
So it's that sweet spot between structure, but also spontaneity. Because they want the real you, not some like interview robot.
Exactly. Which brings up something else Richard's big on. Practice.
Ah, yes. Practice makes perfect, or at least less panicky.
Right. Practicing your answers, whether it's with a friend or a career counselor, heck, even the mirror, it helps you like internalize the stuff, refine how you say it.
It's like rehearsing for a play almost.
Right.
More you rehearse, the more natural you are on stage.
Yeah.
Or in this case, the interview room.
Exactly. And when you walk in feeling prepared, confident, you can relax, be yourself, your personality comes through.
Because yes, skills, experience, that's huge.
Yeah.
But that human connection matters too. Yeah, you could have all the right answers, but if the vibe is off, it's just not going to work.
Totally.
No.
And that's where that practice comes in. When you've got those responses down, you can actually be present, let that genuine enthusiasm shine through.
Not memorizing, but internalizing. Got it.
And you know what? That reminds me of this time I totally bombed an interview because I was trying too hard to be someone I wasn't.
Oh, no, really? What happened?
So I read all this stuff about power posing and using super formal language to sound confident. Total backfire. I was so stiff, so unnatural, they could tell I was way out of my element.
I could see that. Like forcing a persona, it's just going to come off weird. Like wearing a suit that doesn't fit,
Exactly. Authenticity, that's what matters. Not trying to fit some perfect candidate mold.
Good reminder.
Oh.
So to wrap this up, sounds like this YouTube video, it's a gold mine for anyone feeling lost in interview prep. Practical tips from the intro to those tough behavioral questions.
For sure. But like we've been saying, take those tools, make them your own, don't parrot, internalize, and practice, practice, practice until it's natural.
So when you walk in, you're not just answering questions, you're telling your story.
And that's what makes you memorable.
There you go. Thanks for diving into this with us.